Hello everyone. Now, if you know me, if you follow my channel, or if you have been following my channel, then I'm sure you know that I love Drupal. And apart from using Drupal, I prefer building a site. If I have to build a site using nothing but plain HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. In the past, I have tried some static site generators and some flat file based CMS like Grav, Jekyll, and a few other similar static site generators. But for me, it has always been either Drupal for doing something a bit more complicated, because that is what I used to do. That is what I do. I develop sites using Drupal, apart from, of course, my usual Atlassian consultancy work. But apart from using Drupal and absolutely simple site built using HTML and CSS, sometimes I do encounter cases where I have to build a site using WordPress. Now, I don't really have a lot of experience. Oh no, I mean, I do have experience building sites using WordPress. I have done it in the past, but I prefer not to use WordPress. But sometimes you have to. Sometimes, let us say if someone is paying you, let us say if you pay me £1,000, Ravi, can you build a simple site for me? I'll do that, because why not? It's just one simple installation of WordPress. So what I'm trying to say to you is that I'm not really against WordPress, but I don't like it that much. And if I have to do something uh, like a blog, or maybe a bit more than blog, I'll probably stick to Drupal. That is what I have been doing. So recently I was playing with WordPress, and to be honest, it is actually very simple as compared to Drupal. Drupal is, of course, massively complicated, not even nowadays, especially in Drupal 9. There are so many things that you have to worry about, but WordPress is actually very simple. Uh, Anyone can do it, and I think it is a good thing to learn if you are, let us say, trying to develop your career in the field of web development. Then I think you should definitely know how to install WordPress, which is, of course, nothing but a simple, I mean, you install it like any other PHP based CMS. Nowadays, of course, I mean, not even nowadays, but usually if you have, let us say, GoDaddy or any other provider, domain hosting provider, then you can also install WordPress using their one-click installer. But today I thought I'll share a few things which I was actually playing with recently. So after installing WordPress, or in fact, recently I was playing with, or I have to do something or update my WordPress site, one of my WordPress site, not really my own site, but one site which I maintain. And I was trying to do it using the online interface. So this is one good thing about WordPress. It will, as compared to Drupal, of course, Drupal is a pain to upgrade. It is like something will definitely go wrong, but WordPress is absolutely simple. You just click a button and you're done. That is it. But there is also a way to do it using CLI, and of course I prefer CLI because it is fun. So there is something called as wp-cli, which I thought I'll probably share with you. It is basically, I mean, if you're from Drupal background, I'm sure you know about Composer, right? It is, of course, or maybe Drush. I think it is a bit similar to Drush, I guess. It is like some scripts that will actually do a lot of work, a lot of things for you. So if you want to manage your WordPress installation, I suggest you install this, because I have it as well, and I think it is useful. And installing it is, of course, very simple. You just run some commands and you will have it installed. That is it. And after you install it, you will get, of course, I mean, you can actually move it manually to your bin, and you can then, of course, make sure that this wp command will be available for you from anywhere when you're, of course, in your shell. And using this simple utility, you can actually upgrade your WordPress. For example, if you do wp-core update, you will actually update your WordPress installation, which of course can be done from the control panel, from the settings. When you go to your site /wp-admin, you can do that from there, but it can of course easily be done from this particular utility, which I thought I'll probably share with all of you, because that is what I do. And WordPress, I believe, is somewhere in between doing something very simple. And of course, it is a CMS. So even within CMS, you have the option to use either, Django, or there are so many other CMSs. I mean, Django is not really a CMS, it's like a framework, but for me, Drupal works really well because Drupal is a CMS based framework. So you can do a lot of things very quickly, but you have the option to write your own module, which I always prefer. So you have flexibility, you can always scale up. And WordPress is of course simple. I think in the database itself, if you look at the number of tables, I don't really think we have more than 12 tables, I guess, if I remember correctly. So I think I'll probably change my mind, because recently I also installed a WordPress based site for one of my friend. And a good thing about WordPress is that it also has a mobile app, so you can actually manage your WordPress site. Like, let us say you want to add some content, you can do that using a mobile phone. So I think for normal people, and I mean, I shouldn't really say this, but for majority of people who are not massively tech savvy, or they are not massively comfortable, going through Drupal site, because even when you have Drupal based site, Drupal itself, unless you spend some time and money in improving the UI, the front end, I think Drupal itself is not like the most user friendly, or I should say, in terms of editing. Like, if you have to add some content, it is of course not massively complicated, but it is of course nothing like WordPress. WordPress is very simple, absolutely very simple, and you can also do that using mobile phone. So I'm now thinking of maybe exploring WordPress a bit more, because it is simple, and maybe I'll install a couple of more sites in WordPress. Again, my first preference is always to have a simple static website, because you don't have to maintain it. For those cases where you don't really have to update it, even if you have to update it, and if I have to update it, I'm happy to do it using, of course, nothing but my org mode. But especially for my friends and my family members, or maybe someone who is looking for not just a simple static site, but a bit more than static site, and at the same time they want some easy to update kind of easy to update, easy to manage kind of a site or interface, I think WordPress is really good. So I'll probably give you my update after few weeks or few months. I have a couple of WordPress sites to set up and install. Not for myself. Someone is actually asking me to do it, and I think it is probably a good option, even for people like me who prefer not always the most simplest or user-friendly kind of options. I was actually also thinking of setting up a WordPress site, couple of WordPress sites purely for marketing, because WordPress site, if you want to set it up, you can actually do it very quickly, and there are a lot of themes available. So you can actually set up a very simple, good-looking site which you can keep on updating. I'll probably write some scripts to push content from my Drupal site to the WordPress site, purely for the purpose of marketing, so that there is also one more place. And when you're doing something online, I think it is important that you keep your presence. You make your presence felt by distributing content across multiple platforms or multiple sites, and also syndicate your content to other places. So I'll probably give you my update on my experience using WordPress. Although I have some experience, but of course I was never really too much into doing anything fancy with WordPress, which I will now explore. And that is all I wanted to talk about and share in this video. I hope you found this video useful and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye. And by the way, I'm making a video after a long while, not a long while, but I think a couple of weeks, because I intentionally took a break from making videos, although there was no need. But I felt like, let us take a break for some time, and I'm back. I'm back to making my regular videos. All right, that is it. Bye bye.